Hello, I'm Professor Amy Smith, curator of the Year Museum. And in every talk I give, I like to highlight something you can see on display in the Year Museum, especially our pots. Our focus on food for 2021 Heritage Open Days gives me a chance to spotlight our symposium display case in the corner near the far exit of the museum. Until a few years back, the symposium case, or rather the objects in it, had been used as the focal point of a seminar in our flagship first year module entitled Civilization in 5th Century Athens. It was a great chance to both to introduce the students to the museum and to get them to think about how and why such pictures are found on pots and what functions the pots serve. Perhaps you recognize the figure, or rather her face, at the bottom of this tondo of a cup on the right side of this slide. This is Medusa, the snaky haired gorgon who turns you to stone as soon as you look at her. Our friends at panoply.org.uk actually animated her, well, with the help of local school children, so you should go check it out. There's another drinking cup in the display case. It introduces us to dancing satyrs chasing maenads, wild women in the circle of Dionysus, all part and parcel of the mayhem, essentially, at both parties in general and at the symposium more specifically. But the ancient Greek, especially Athenian men, like to tell us that the symposium was slightly better organized than that. Even the drawing at the back of the exhibit case, this is the slide on the right, a blown up version of the tondo, or the decoration on the inside of a cup in Boston, gives us a chance to think about how and why so many cups might have been used simultaneously while the symposiasts enjoyed music, poetry, and each other's company. I've done a bit of research myself on the symposium, and this is an article I put in Omnibus. But the fact that the pots give us some of our best evidence for the most important feature of aristocratic Athens, that is, the Symposion, in the 6th century BC, continued into and through democratic Athens. When I gave Martin Andrews, our designer for the renewal of the Year Museum in 2005, the brief to include a whole case on the symposium, he challenged me with some important questions. What was at the center of the action? Why the Krater? That's a mixing bowl in which wine and water were mixed in a ratio of 3 to 1, according to Dionysus, the god of wine. He should know. And here, alongside it, are the pots and the larder. This came from another series of Martin's questions. Who brought the wine to the symposius? Why slaves, as shown here? And how did they bring them? Well, in jugs, like the chap in the middle of this pot. And from where did they get those jugs and cups? I suppose the larder. So we had the opportunity to populate the case with lots and lots of cups and other vessels. Presto, a larder on the left of the case. A good excuse to show off not just our pretty cups, but also some of the more generic ones. A third year finalist drew the Medusa picture, which decorates a label on the side of the case. You can see it at the back of the image on the left here. And we use the image of the famous unswept floor mosaic, a popular Hellenistic type from the Vatican museums, to decorate the floor of the case. Another opportunity to show off some of our broken bit pots strewn all over the unswept floor. Martin, our designer, created and in fact hand painted the sympodic table to show off some of the vessels used for drinks and snacks. You see right in the middle here, lovely fish plate from the Reading Museum. It's called a fish plate because it's decorated with fish, but also because it held fish. Museum volunteers and also students painted the rest. But that image on the back wall encapsulates the action. Drinking games. The chap at the back is probably throwing dregs of wine at a target. Bit of music, food, as suggested by the fish plate, and other objects on the table. And of course, singing and talking about, well, just about anything. Politics, art, international relations, whatever suits your fancy. But it's all done in the presence of the gods, for which I refer you back to my video on feasting with the gods, especially libation.